Thanks a lot, Milad. Do have a seat.
Thank
We'll
you.
continue chatting. Yeah, you could sit at the first end if you want, or you sit closer to here. But again, today is about breaking rules, so that's fine. I mean, it's really difficult not to be sort of shaken up by your stories and your messages. And who knows, at some point we might bring this whole crowd over to the new school and see what you guys are doing. Live next year,
Exactly.
in a year from now.
Autumn 2015. So.
Going according to plan?
No. But that's how you do things.
Yeah,
so.
we've learned that you don't necessarily need plans to do things.
The thing is that I've always believed that if you want to do something, you have to do it properly. And the challenge that I give all of you is that the reason why I want to build and create a school is to create something long-term, and something long-term that can affect people's lives long-term. And if you want to create something long-term, you have to do something that's very difficult. And when you handle young people's lives, that's the most difficult thing that you can do, but also the most important thing that you can do. So it's up to me to prove myself and to prove this to this society how to work with education, leadership, because working with young people is also a leadership matter. It's the same formula working with young people as it is with working with executives or other kinds of people. So for me, this is a matter of proving to this society how to work long-term and make a long-term change, but also prove that people from different countries are our biggest possibilities. So.
We'll dig into some of those topics and direct all the energy we have around this topic directly out to the audience. Again, we'll bring another friend though before we do that. One that is also very used to working with young people, female leadership, etc., and diversity and entrepreneurship. And typically in places and in projects that have a high impact, like yourself. And she's been on the Swedish Ministry of Enterprise. She's been in the U.S. State Department. She's worked for Hillary Clinton, and that's sort of a few of her peers when she goes to work. And now she curates the next generation female leaders. Anna Lithagen, please join us on stage for the letter to the HR director. It's a bit of a climbing. And I know you two know each other a bit. Common causes, common topics.
Yeah, I think you referred to us as change makers, and we kind of tend to gravitate towards each other.
That's good. But I mean, a lot of people talk about diversity and leadership, entrepreneurship, and working with the young people. But you really embodies this. I mean, you've been working with these topics for a long time, and one of the things that you're doing is working a lot with golden rules of leadership.
Yeah.
What is that? It sounds important and big, and something that we should talk about.
Thank you. It's a government-commissioned initiative, the Golden Rules of Leadership. It's part of the Swedish Agency for Economic and Regional Growth. And Milad mentioned working with role models. We interviewed women that have risen to leadership positions globally. All of them said that for them to have reached that position, they had role models in their lives, good networks, worked on mentorship, sponsorship, and also had leadership training. So those are all really important factors for anyone to rise to leadership positions, and to have people around you that can help you and to believe in you. I think that's very, very important. So that's a government-commissioned initiative, and I get actually to be, we haven't talked that much about it this afternoon, but to be an entrepreneur with a government agency. So being an entrepreneur within an organization. And it's very important to look at who your entrepreneurs are within your organizations. Maybe some of you already do that, but I think that's it's a very important part of how an organization or a company, corporation can innovate and create change, both within the organization and also in society.
And the organizations that you refer to, I mean, you meet them a lot. I mean, you both do. You talked about the executives and sort of coaching them to better confidence. We try to coach people to better confidence when it comes to digital disruption, and also creating some role models for that matter. When you're out talking to the executives and the companies and the organizational bodies, and you talk about diversity in leadership and getting the young people and on board, you read a lot in the news that the CEOs are involved. What's coming out of those discussions that you're having, those arenas? Both of you. Because you're sort of sitting on the inside in all these conversations and in all these forums where the executives are talking a lot about these questions.
Go ahead.
For me, it's been a matter of realizing that we all try to make a change in these questions called inclusion, diversity, and so forth. For me, the realization that I've come to is that we run from the true question, the most important question, and that's the question of power. That people in positions with power, I think the best change that we can make is not to have projects or sophisticated methods or to create something new, but I think the best way to create a society or an organization or a country where there's a lot of diversity on our privileged position is that those people sitting on positions with power, they have to let go of their power and invest in new people that they're normally not close with. It can be people coming from different countries, or women, or people with different abilities or personalities, or coming from different parts of the society. I believe that we run from the most important question, and that's the question that a lot of people on these positions, they want to create a change in these questions, but they're not willing to give up something of their own in favor of something new. And I believe if we want to create a long-term change, development, but also a society or an organization or a company that we're proud of, I want to be able to tell to my kids that I was willing to give up something that I built to something new that I did not fully understand, but I believe that this something new is the only thing, the new thing that this organization needs. So I think we run from the question of power.
Anna, what do you say?
Yeah, something that I've noticed is that many CEOs and HR directors get their information from a very small group of people. And I also think you should open up for and normally the entrepreneurs within the organizations, they're not part of the board of directors, they're not part of the meetings with the CEOs, but to get their ideas, to get their input and include them in the decision-making processes. And also the Golden Rules of Leadership is about people in power, anyone who to share your networks with rising leaders, to actively promote, in this case it's women, but it could be to anyone that you see potential in, promote them as role models, and also endorse and make women and potential leaders visible. So have someone that you believe in within your organization, show that person how they can access the power and also make that relationship mutual. Ask for advice, ask for more input, ask for the creative ideas. And I believe that there will be a lot more coming out of corporations, of organizations, of agencies, government agencies and ministries to spreading the power and asking for input in any decision-making process or in any change-making process within the organization.
And how good are we in doing that, and how far have we come?
I think all of us can be a lot better, and actually I was a little nervous when I didn't realize the title of this would be Letter to the HR Director, since I realized that my The letter I last brought to the HR director was a letter of resignation. And so I thought...
so here's a new shot.
Yeah. But I thought any organization could do a lot more to involve their employees and to involve anyone who they would just like to include within their decision-making process.
I'm thinking about, and I think we have a slide or two on sort of what you're up to in everyday life, Anna. Here are a few of the role models that you work with, and here's what tends to happen when we address these topics.
Yeah, that's from, we've actually been doing and been very creative, I would say, for being a government agency. And I talked to Christina Riesen earlier. She said that, I commented on that. I thought it was exactly the way I thought, or that I'm working. Yeah. I told my bosses that I'm not going to come to the office. I'm going to work from home, or I'm going to work from a cafe. And I'm not going to go to any long meetings unless there is an agenda for it. I'm prepared to work a lot. Sometimes I work during nights or early mornings or whatever. But I think to change makers, to entrepreneurs, their sense of freedom is very important. To have freedom, and someone said also the HR should back off sometimes, or the CEOs. And I think that's actually true to many. Most entrepreneurs are prepared to work really, really hard for the change they believe in, but need to be given freedom and space to do so. And here is an example how we highlight role models. And in this case, it was through one of our breakfast seminars. We've also been doing boot camps. And this is highlighting 100 most creative people in business. And it's really important to showcase any role models, anyone within the organization who is doing something really, really well. And it might be just anything, but and any kind of creativity. It could be from any sector. But to showcase, we need people that are change makers, that are prepared to work hard, and I think people will have a lot more fun within the organizations also.
So again, super trusting your employees, get out of their way. Back to Christina's note, and then HR, please back off a little bit more. Okay.
It's important to, well, maybe not just to have someone there that you can maybe not detail-oriented, but that you can ask for advice, that could be more of a sponsor than a mentor, that you can ask for advice and that can help you along. But you also need to be able to fail and fail fast, and then get back on your feet again and to start over. To be allowed to fail, or to just try your wings within the organizations.
So how would these folks out here recruit you or attract you? I mean, and you've been working in a lot of large organizations and traditional in a sense. It seems like you've had it your way, and to a large extent in terms of deciding how to work. Milad, how would, do we have a shot?
For me, it's always been important to... My role models today, I've been thinking about this for a long time now, are not people working hard or creating change or doing big things, but people that have very strong values and live by them throughout their life. And for me, I've come to a point where I want to work with people that can inspire me to do the same, because I believe if we want to create a society which we can be proud of, we also have to become those individuals. As Gandhi says, be the change that you want to see in the world. And lately, I've been seeing a lot in this society that I do not like. And for me, to cooperate with other people, it's to this point, it's been those people who are willing to invest in other people, and especially those people that I have a passion for, and those are people coming from different countries, to this, and young people. And I've gone this direction, that I want to build an organization and have the main the main group of people I want to work for, work with, teach, and be inspired of are young people. So those of you who are interested in working with young people and diversity, not as a project, but as a value, as a must, not a should, as a must within yourself, that you must do this. Those of you are, I'm willing to listen to all of you that are willing to work through that perspective.
So that's an invitation. Yes. Okay, so doing a roundup checklist to the HR directors, how to attract you, or how to fuel more change from your experiences. What would that checklist look like, or what would the letter look like?
Apart from a letter of resignation, looking forward then. Organizations, when you can learn new things, where you can contribute, and I think this is true to almost any entrepreneur or entrepreneurial organization. And I know that there are many organizations or companies here that have very good entrepreneurs that you might actually lose if you don't talk to them and ask what they're looking for moving ahead in your respective organizations. I think it's also most entrepreneurs value influence. They're pretty restless, problem solvers, want challenges, and I think it's just important to have a dialogue and to be to talk. The HR department, CEO, and the entrepreneurs to involve in the way you move ahead with the business decision-making processes, and that the entrepreneurs should be part of the decision-making processes, or how you decide to innovate ahead as a company or organization.
So don't put the entrepreneurs in a business development unit only, put them everywhere, and especially on the top. Key takeaway. Knowing you're brilliant, a quick answer on the a few items to your letter to the HR director on attracting more of you guys.
I don't have any points or anything of that nature. The only thing I can tell all of you is that you know what you have to do. All of you know what you have to do. But we tend to try to find solutions and read things and go to seminars and learn new things. I believe we all, if we reflect on these matters, like we go deeply in ourselves and we look and we criticize or scrutinize our organization, we know what to do. So my invitation to all of you is to sit down and do something properly with your organization or your company or whatever, and reflect on these matters. So there is no quick fixes or projects or things of that nature, in my opinion, that are very long term. I believe that it's a matter of leadership to work with yourselves and build an organization that shares those values. So you know what to do.
You know what to do. Final word.
Yeah, and to add to that point, I would say, look at what you want to accomplish within the organizations, and then invite for public-private partnerships. Invite people that you find interesting, and also from different sectors, and have a conversation within your company. So invite people that you wouldn't normally invite, and open up for greater diversity within your organization. And I think that will lead to a lot of solutions that you wouldn't have anticipated.
Invite people you wouldn't normally invite. That's a good key takeaway as well. Thanks a lot, Mila and Anna. You'll also be sticking around, so I can catch you with questions and all of the rest in the break. Thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you very much.
See you soon. Thank you.